Hashem instilled into our haters to hate us. Why? To protect us. He needs the Goyim to hate us because he needs to protect us. Because unfortunately, despite the fact that the Goyim hate us, we still try to be like them. We still try to assimilate with them. We still try to be next to them, emulate them, celebrate with them. Even holidays like 4th of July, that has absolutely nothing to do with Judaism. Unfortunately, the vast majority of American Jews are celebrating today, and they are not in a Shiur Torah like you. They're not. They're celebrating a day, an Independence Day, to a country that does not belong to them. To a place where the prophet Jeremiah says, this will be Edom, where Hashem is going to take us out of here, like he took us out of Egypt. This does not mean that we're ungrateful. It's just a reality. So now, when most Jews are celebrating with the Goyim, generation after generation, one holiday becomes another. 4th of July becomes Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving eventually becomes Easter or Christmas. And unfortunately, many of the Jews have gone so far from Hashem Yitbarach that they feel 100% comfortable having a Hannuka tree, thinking that this is just a nice thing to have. When I first heard about it, I was around 11 years old. My American Jewish friend told me, oh yeah, I'm so excited. Hanukkah is coming. In Israel, we weren't really so excited about Hanukkah coming, other than the fact that we're going to eat some sufganiyot, the little donuts. But I wouldn't call it excited. It's one time a year we have these donuts. It's delicious, it's great, but it's not exactly the highlight of my life. So I asked him, why are you so excited? Oh, we get so many presents around the tree. And I said, excuse me, what do you mean you get presents? I didn't ask about the tree first. I asked the presents first, just to see what the secret is. I was 11. So what do you mean you get presents? He goes, we get presents. We get a present for every day. I said, I get a sufganiya every day. The whole concept of presents on Hanukkah was not necessarily an Israeli thing. It's an American thing. Similar to the Goyim, because they get presents on Christmas. The only thing I could hear about from the sages, Sipurei Tzadikim, is what they give their kids is maybe some chocolate on Hanukkah, but there's no stories of presents, at least not that I heard of. Maybe there is, but I never heard it. So I found out about these 8 presents in America. I said, wow, your parents must be rich. He goes, yes, our tree is amazing. It's all white. And I said, okay, yeah, back to this tree thing. What do you mean you have a tree? He goes, yeah, we have a Hanukkah tree. I said, what's a Hanukkah tree? I'm 11 years old. I've celebrated Hanukkah my whole life. I remember about 5 or 6 years of it. I never saw a tree. What is this Hanukkah tree? And he described to me something that I saw in the mall. Only there they called it a Christmas tree. And although it was disturbing, I quickly forgot and went back to the business of how to figure out how to convince my parents to get me some presents. But years would pass, and eventually I would learn from the Torah that not only is this Hanukkah tree not part of our tradition, not part of our Masoret, but it also is against the Torah to such an extent that it's the equivalent of idolatry. It's 100% idol worship. It's mentioned in the Torah several times, one of them by the prophet Jeremiah, one of them by Hashem Yitbarach himself, saying, when you get to the land, cut down the Asher trees. Cut down these trees. So Yeshua ben Nun asked, what do these trees do? What, they stole? They went with a different tree? They violated, what do these trees do? It's a tree, it stays there. He says, no, someone worshipped this tree. The nations that lived here before, they worshipped the tree. So how is this the tree's fault? What, the tree told me, come here, I'm good. This is a good spot, come worship me. What'd the tree do? He It's irrelevant. Anything that was ever used for idolatry has lost its right to exist. It's called to'avat Hashem. It's called disgusting to Hashem. We are not allowed to benefit from idolatry in any way, shape, or form, which is also the reason and the argument we add to the whole issue of wigs today that come from natural hair. Unfortunately, there's not one human being on earth that can look me in the face and swear on their olam haba that they know for sure, 100%, that the wig they bought from the store did not come from idolatry. Because the reality of it is that even if one hair, you have thousands amongst tens of thousands of hairs in every wig. It's a full head of hair. If one hair, one, not all of them, if 99.9% of the hairs come from some Russian jail, which is unethical to begin with, but it's not idolatry, comes from some Russian jail. But when I went to the factory, first in China, then it went to Italy, possibly stopped in France, then went back to London, eventually arrived in the United States. By the time it got there, all the custom-made jobs they made to fit your head, one hair sneaked up in there that came from the temples in India. Your entire head of hair is now 100% idol worship. Can anyone in the world put their olam haba on the line and look at themselves in the face? Who am I? Look at themselves in the face and say, I know this is not from idolatry. I know that not even one hair in this wig is not idolatry. Can? No one can. That's the problem. So why do people take such big risks with their olam haba? Because we are losing the battle. We are losing the battle of Gog and Magog that's within us. The battle amongst the nations and them hating us has always been and will always be. Hashem instilled hatred amongst the nations for us because He needs to protect us. We try to be like them even when they hate us. Imagine what we would do if they loved us. There would be no us.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
tricks, no magic. The very cave you fear possesses the cure you seek. Go within. Just know, once you cross that threshold, there is only one way out.
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
The person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
They may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
And the next thing I know, I was outside of my body, looking at my body.
What I'm going to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience, passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yetzirah.
What happens to us after we die?